What is the best workout split? Well, the answer is it depends. A lot of people will tell you different things like this is better than that and you should do this, not that, but it's very nuanced and it depends on your goals, your schedule, and your experience and many other factors that we're going to dive into today. By the way, welcome to TFitX. I'm Tyler. I'm a certified personal trainer, registered nurse, and also kind of a YouTuber as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First, why do workout splits matter? Simply just writing down your workout and having a plan will help you be more motivated and much more consistent to hitting your goals. It's also going to help you maximize your muscle growth and strength gains, because if you just kind of go in there willy-nilly, especially if you're doing some older, outdated splits where we're only training muscle groups once a week, it's just not as efficient, because data shows that training muscle groups more than once a week gets you more results. Having a good workout split is also going to allow for optimal recovery time, aka more growth and muscle gains between sessions. It allows you to be more efficient to fit your schedule and availability. It's going to help you hit different results depending on your goal, whether that's to build as much muscle or strength or to be an athlete or just to be healthy. So let's first discuss the most common split out there, which is push-pull legs. And this just simply means on push day, we're doing muscles that push. So usually the chest, shoulders, and triceps. Pull day is your back and biceps. Leg day is of course going to be your legs. Now, one thing I'll say right out the gate here is that it's actually probably better to change the order. Instead of push, pull legs, I'd rather do push, legs, pull, or pull, push, legs. The advantage of option one, push, legs, pull, is that we're separating those upper body days a little bit. So there's less kind of that fatigue overlap. And then the option two is that if we separate pull and legs a little bit more, some of those workouts can have also overlapping things where our low back, like your spinal erectors, are working both on pull day and on leg day on some of those big compound movements. So there's not an exact answer to do that, but I would rather do one of those two options than push, pull legs. Now, here's the thing. This is an exercise split that I see is just very commonly done when people are only training 3 days per week, and that is just simply not ideal, because studies show that it is much more efficient. We can get more muscle growth if we are hitting each muscle group more than 1 time per week. We want to aim for at least 2 times per week on each muscle. So if you're only training 3 days a week, each muscle only gets hit once. And so basically, instead of thinking of I'm going to do 10 sets of chest all on Monday, I'd rather see you break that up into maybe 5 sets Monday and 5 sets Thursday or something like that. However, if you only have the time to work out 3 times a week and you want to have a lot of flexibility in your schedule, where if you need to work out back-to-back days, you can, then a 3-day push-pull legs split is perfectly fine. Because since you are working different muscle groups in these 3 days, you could technically work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take the rest of the week off, and then go back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you have a very just hectic, irregular schedule where you don't know when you can work out, then this can be a very good option. But realistically, this is probably most ideal for people that are lifting 5 to 6 days a week. So this could just be like 6 days in a row and off Sunday, or you could do something like a 5-day asynchronous split, which just means you don't follow the same days of the week. You would just do like 2 days on, 1 day off, or 3 days on, 1 day off. For example, Chris Bumstead, C-Bum, who's like won the Mr. Olympia physique like 5 times in a row. He did a 3 on, 1 off routine for a very long time. But I want to point out that that is C-Bum. He is very genetically gifted. His main job in life is to be a bodybuilder, and he's also on some additional things that helps him with that. And you are not. You are probably, you're in school, you have a job, you have a family. So lifting 5 to 6 days a week is going to be more reserved for very advanced lifters. And that if you're a more beginner to intermediate, I really would kind of discourage you from lifting that often unless the volume and intensity is back down on. So if that does kind of fit you where you feel like you are a little bit more beginner to intermediate and you only have time to work out maybe 2 or 3 times a week, then a full body workout split is going to be much, much better for muscle growth. So what this does is we're going to hit each major muscle group at least once per session. So it's going to look out probably at a minimum of 5 to 6 exercises per day, where we do a set of chest, back, shoulders, legs, and probably maybe some biceps and triceps as well. But it is also best to focus on compound exercises in a full body split. So a compound exercise is going to be an exercise that works multiple muscle groups or multiple joints at once instead of isolating it. So a dumbbell curl, that's an isolation, whereas a lat pull down is gonna work your biceps and also your back. And you don't even have to isolate things like biceps and triceps in a full body workout, because if you're doing compound pressing movements, compound pulling movements, then you're also working those muscles as well. This is an amazing split and my top recommended for beginners, because again, we don't need to be in the gym 5, 6, 7 times a week to see great results. And this is great for people just looking for overall strength, hypertrophy, and health improvements. And again, it's much better than a push-pull leg split if you're only gonna work out about 3 times a week. The only downside to this is that we need at least 1 day in between our sessions for recovery. You would not wanna work out back-to-back, and definitely not back-to-back days on a full body split, because you're not allowing for your body to recover and those muscles to recover between sessions. So like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, something like that. Now, if you miss a day because something comes up, you could just skip it, because you're still gonna hit those other muscle groups in your other workouts, or you just need to move all your days back by 1. Some downsides of this is that it's harder to specialize on particular muscle groups. So if you really want to get after one muscle group, but then you're hitting it every day, it might be hard to recover from that. You're also not going to get that big pump feeling that some people love. When you go in and you just are hitting chest that day and you've done like 12 sets of chest and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. You're not going to get that as much. Although again, studies show that the pump, although can be a good sign of muscle growth, it's not directly related to muscle growth. And that again, this is probably more efficient than a standard 3-day push-pull legs volume. Moving on, we've got the upper-lower split, and this is actually my personal favorite and what I use the most in my routine. This works best in a 4-day split or a 2-on, 1-off asynchronous split. So for example, what this might look like would be on Monday and Thursday, so day 1 and 3, that's gonna be your upper body day. We're gonna do all of our upper body movements, chest, back, shoulders, arms. Whereas Tuesday and Friday is our lower, where we just do legs. Now, what I actually do is gonna be the second option. That is gonna be where I do chest, back, and shoulders on my upper days, but I do legs with my arms, my biceps and triceps on my lower days. Since yes, I'm gonna be working my biceps and triceps a little bit on my upper day in those compound movements, but they're not gonna get like super fatigued and super sore. And generally smaller muscle groups like the biceps and triceps can handle more volume anyway. So for me, this is my personal favorite routine. And if you're a guy who wants to be in the gym about 4 times a week, I would really recommend this. Now, if you really wanna focus on growing your legs, or maybe you're a girl and you're just more, you care more about that, then that first option might be a little bit better for you, so you can put more emphasis and time into your legs. The benefit of upper lower is that we kind of get the best of both worlds from full body and push pull legs, in the sense that we're going to hit each muscle group at least twice per week, but we can do more volume per day than on a full body split, because you're going to be able to get that good pump, because you can do 2 to 3 exercises per big muscle group. So a lot of the times I will do about 6 exercises, 2 chest, 2 back, 2 shoulders. And then on my leg day, it's usually 3 to 4 legs, and then 2 to 3 to 4 of arms. I kind of vary between how much volume between my arms and legs, depending on what my goal is. This is perfect for an intermediate lifter, or it's really good for beginners who are just very motivated and they really enjoy being in the gym about 4 days a week. Or if you're just an advanced lifter, you have a very busy schedule, you don't have the time to be in the gym 5, 6 days a week, this is great. And this is kind of where I would define myself. I would say I'm like a almost advanced lifter. I've been lifting for several years, but I have a busy schedule. And so 4 days is perfect for me. And I feel like I recover from this much better than when I'm in the gym 5, 6 days a week. This can be really good if you're focused on strength or hypertrophy, because one thing you can do is what's called a conjugated split, where on your first 2 days of the week, those could be your strength days, where we're pushing really heavy weight, lower reps, maybe like rep ranges of like 3 to 6. And then day 3 and 4, you could either be a speed day where we do lighter weights, but focus on very fast concentric tempo. Or if you're kind of more, you want to also get kind of jacked at the same time and you're less worried about athletic performance, then we could do more of a hypertrophy day where we're doing more high volume, lots more reps with lower weights. Then we've got the classic body part or bro split. And honestly, this is a very outdated split and I don't really recommend it unless for a few particular reasons. So normally this involves working out 5 to 6 times per week. Commonly this would be chest day, back day, leg day, shoulder, arms, and then that 6th day could be another group that you're hitting back again, like legs again, or it could be like cardio and abs or something like that. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to devote an entire day to just one body part besides legs, because in reality, the legs are about 3 to 4 major muscle groups with our quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. However, we can modify a body part split to be kind of a hybrid or specialty split. So what this could look like would be you do something like an upper lower split for 4 days, but then you have like a 5th day where you have a dedicated day to maybe just your shoulders or just one body part that you really want to grow and hit with extra volume, so you can train that muscle group maybe 3 or 4 times a week. But I would only recommend this for very advanced lifters, people that can take a lot of volume and that can recover very well. So this is gonna be someone who's lifting consistently for at least 5+ years. The benefit of this split though is that you can hit insanely high volume in one session. Like you can dedicate, 15 sets to chest in one session and just destroy your chest. But for most people, this is probably where we're starting to enter that junk volume realm, where after so many sets, you're so tired and fatigued that you're just not really doing anything besides beating yourself up. Only very advanced lifters, and probably not natural ones, are gonna be able to benefit from taking this much volume. You will see a lot of the Mr. Olympia type competitors are on a more traditional body part split, and that is because they need insanely high amounts of volume plus an entire week to recover in order for them to stimulate growth. But if you're watching this video, I'm gonna take a venture. This is not you, and I just don't recommend this split. Now, on that note, I wanna mention though that you can customize any of these splits and kind of find hybrids between these. So for example, you could do a full body split, but maybe one day, especially like a Friday, the last day of the week where you're gonna have 2 days to recover until Monday, you go extra hard on a particular muscle group that you wanna grow, maybe your legs, your chest, your back, whatever that may be. Or like I mentioned earlier, you could do an upper lower split, plus you dedicate one day to just one muscle group that you really get after. Or you could do kind of a 5 to 6 day body part split, but instead of doing just one body part, you could do something like chest and back on one day, shoulders and arms, or legs and arms. You could combine a few groups, but it doesn't have to be exactly push or just pull or just legs. Okay, so if you've watched this far, you might have an idea of where you want to be, but how do we decide? How do we know what is best actually for you to be as efficient as possible and grow the most amount of muscle based on your schedule? So the first thing you should ask yourself is, how many days can you work out and how experienced are you in the gym? If you can only commit to about 3 days or even less, 1 or 2 days, 100% full body is what you're gonna wanna do. But if you wanna commit to at least 3 days, but you have a very hectic, irregular schedule where just things pop up and you might not be able to work out, you might miss a workout, then just doing your traditional 3-day push-pull legs is gonna be just fine. I wanna clarify this and also say, although yes, I said and I harped on that a full body split, 3 days is gonna be better than a 3-day push-pull legs, the difference in this is not night and day. It's not like you're not gonna grow muscle on a 3-day push-pull legs. It's just we could be more efficient and get a little bit more out of it on a full body split. This is perfect for beginners, but also intermediates who are just busy. They actually did an interesting study where they took intermediate to advanced lifters, people that had been lifting consistently for several years, and they saw what's the least amount of work we can do to get them to still grow muscle, and they were still growing muscle on a 2-day-a-week full body routine with only moderate intensity. Those are people that are seasoned lifters. So I promise you, if you're a beginner or you've only been lifting for maybe a year or two, you don't have to go that insanely hard to see good gains, especially if your nutrition and sleep are dialed in. Now next, if you want to lift about 4 days a week, and this could really range from anyone from beginner all the way to advanced, an upper lower split is perfect. And you can also adjust the amount of volume on different body parts based on your goals. So if you really want to focus on your legs, you can dedicate a whole day to your legs. But if you really want to focus on your arms and your legs, you don't really care about them, don't skip leg day, but you could, pull way back on the volume on your legs and go really get after your arms or something like that. If you're looking to lift 5 days per week in the gym, ideally you're gonna need to be at least an intermediate to an advanced lifter. This is where a asynchronous push-pull legs, so like a 2-on, 1-off or 3-on, 1-off type split could work, or an upper lower with a 2-on, 1-off. You could also do a body part split, but again, hopefully it'd be more like a modified split like I mentioned in the previous slide. And then if you're looking to do 6 days a week, this should only be if you are a very advanced lifter. And this is gonna ideally be a push-pull leg style split or a 3-on, 1-off style split. You could also do a modified body part split as well. Now, one thing I wanna say is there is a caveat to people who want to be in the gym as much as possible, like 5 to 6 days a week, if you're a beginner or intermediate, is you could do this, but then you just have very short short, low volume workouts. So this is really good if you have access to a home gym or you live very close to a gym where you can work out almost every day, but your workouts are only 15 to 30 minutes long and you're only doing about 2 to maybe 4 exercises per session, so that you're in the gym more often, but shorter sessions. And a lot of people are actually, I would say this is actually probably the most ideal way if you can dedicate the time. But this is, again, if you live 15, 20 minutes away from a gym, it's a long commute, this can be a big pain in the butt. Your workout split also greatly depends on what you can recover from. So if you hit chest on Monday and you're doing a full body routine and you're scheduled to hit it again on Wednesday, but your chest is still sore, then you might need to lower the volume of your chest from that previous workout. So instead of doing 3 sets, you only do 2, or maybe you lower the intensity with a little bit less weight, less reps. Or if you continue to get sore despite lowering the volume intensity, you might need to change your workout split altogether, or you might need to look into other things like your recovery factors, like your nutrition and your sleep. You should not be training muscles again if they're still sore. And this is important because beginners plus anyone doing a new exercise that you've never done before or that you haven't done in a while will make you more sore. So for example, I usually change my workouts every 6 weeks where I completely swap my exercises, my rep scheme, all that stuff. And in that first week of the new exercise, I will usually only do 2 sets per exercise, especially on muscle groups that tend to get really sore for me very easily. For me, that is going to be like my chest, my hamstrings, my triceps. Those muscles can get really sore for me. But other muscle groups like my shoulders, my biceps, my back, it takes a lot of volume for me to get sore there. So I'll usually leave those at 3 going in because I know I'm just not going to get super sore. And things like that just come with experience. So you would be much safer to just do less than you think as you're getting started. I want to also remind you guys though that workout programming is just like the tip of the iceberg. And this is maybe like 25% of your total health and fitness routine. Because even outside of the workout programming, well, then you have to pick what exercises are you actually doing? What does your form look like? What is the tempo of your list? How do we do different rep schemes? You know, low reps, moderate reps, high reps. How do we periodize this? How do we progressively overload? What if you're working around injuries? What if you only have certain equipment, like you don't have access to a full gym? Where do you go? And then we haven't even talked about your nutrition, because if you can have a perfect dialed in workout routine, but if your nutrition is lacking, you're not going to get any results and you could be going backwards because the workout you could be doing could be damaging yourself if you're not properly fueling yourself. And then there's also sleep and other lifestyle factors. And the same thing as nutrition, you could have your workout, your nutrition dialed in, but if your sleep, if your stress is just uncontrolled, you're going to be massively limiting yourself on the results you're going to be getting. But do not fear, because TFitX is here. And I've got you guys with a for free full body sample workout routine. This is going to be perfect for beginners and intermediates. This is going to be 3 days a week. And there's going to be a link in the video description that's going to take you to a Google Excel sheet and is going to show you a perfect sample workout that you can start with. You can follow this program for several weeks. I would also highly encourage you guys to go watch my 3 Essentials of Health Fitness video for a lot more info on kind of completing your entire fitness routine, like your workout, your nutrition, and your sleep. And I'm going to link that at the end of the video. But lastly, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of investing in your health. There's an old saying or a phrase where men will spend all their health to develop wealth and then spend that wealth to earn their health back. And this could be for women too. Basically saying that they throw out caring for themselves, they throw out taking care of themselves so that they can make as much money as possible, they can grow themselves in their career. Once they've reached that, their health is in the absolute gutter. And now they have to take all that time and energy they've made working to that just to get their health back in a decent shape. It doesn't have to be this way though, because it is so much easier to maintain your health than it is to regain your health. So start taking care of yourself now. And this is where, if you are totally clueless on where to start, or if you just want to optimize the amount of results you can get, I would highly recommend you look into one-on-one online personal training. And I do offer that. You get a completely free one-on-one consultation with me. There's a link in the description where you can fill out. It takes like literally 1 minute to fill out and I will reach out to you. Or you can just shoot me a DM on Instagram at TFit.X. I would love to talk to you, answer your questions if you're unsure. And what we do there is we focus on 4 pillars of fitness: exercise, nutrition, lifestyle, and the accountability factor, which is where the coaching part really comes in. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please reach out if you're at all interested or if you just don't know where to start. I would absolutely love to be part of your journey helping you. Check out that workout. Let me know how it is, and we'll see you in the next one.